One of NOAA's major mission areas is to protect the environment, and we care about runoff because that transports nutrients into local waterways, which eventually make it into our coastal areas. Those nutrients can create harmful algal blooms and hypoxic events in many systems around the U.S. The West Coast, in the Great Lakes, Chesapeake Bay, Gulf of Mexico, even in local water bodies. And so it is a national problem. In the Gulf of Mexico, for example, the watershed of that system drains about 41% of the U.S., which includes areas in the Midwest. Addressing this problem requires looking at nutrient inputs across that whole watershed, so farming activities that might occur 1,000 miles away.
And one of the things that has become clear is that it doesn't matter how you farm or where you farm, when nutrients are put on really close to when runoff is going to occur, the probability that you're going to have elevated nutrients in that runoff is greatly increased.
Farmers really do care about the fact that they might have negative impacts on somebody that's seemingly far away from them. Farmers are trying to make decisions. When to spread fertilizer, where to spread fertilizer, whether they should be completing field operations based on how saturated soil might be.
The Runoff Risk Advisory Forecast System provides a special tool for producers to use to try to avoid those high-risk time periods.
Version 1.0, the National Weather Service did very little adjustment to their model at all, and it was on a scale of about 150 to 300 square miles. Initial feedback of the prototype was positive. Therefore, the National Weather Service, through the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative, got the scale down to about 6 square miles.
It doesn't just use the rainfall or snowmelt forecast. It brings into play other important elements such as soil moisture to make a better prediction of runoff.
Much closer to what a farmer would see on a daily basis standing in his farmyard.
We put a lot of instrumentation out on the landscape that tells us how much it rains, when it runs off, how much runs off, and we can tell you what's in it.
And we're looking not only at surface runoff from agricultural fields, but subsurface runoff from agricultural tiles to evaluate the timing and the magnitude of runoff and sediment and nutrients contained within that runoff.
And it allows us to get in place for future advancements into a national scale gridded model, not just at a regional or state scale. That will take us into modeling that gets down to approximately half a square mile.
The feedback I've received from the farming community is appreciation that they have on-farm research-backed tools to fall back on.
Right now we apply it to the agricultural sector, but we really want it to be where the states can eventually take it to the urban sectors. You shouldn't be putting fertilizer on your lawn today because we're expecting heavy rain tonight and it looks like it's going to run off.
By use of the Runoff Risk Advisory Forecast System, it's very likely that we can significantly reduce the amount of nutrients that are entering our waterways.
Downstream, less runoff means less harmful algal blooms and hypoxic zones.